Welcome to Teaching Moments. I'm Hillary. In my last video, I did a review on the Barton Reading and Spelling curriculum. Today, I wanted to show you my setup of how I teach a reading lesson and give you a few tips and ideas for teaching your reading lessons. So we're up here in my schoolroom today, so I can show you that. The first thing I do with my kids is fluency drills. I used to only do fluency drills with those kids that were struggling more with their reading because each of my kids have a different level of dyslexia. But I started doing them with all of the kids, and I think it's been a good thing. It's really shown some improvement in everybody's reading. You can get some fluency drills when you buy your curriculum from the Barton Reading and Spelling. They give you a password that you can get onto the tutor page, and that gives you fluency drills, flashcards, and other tutor helps. I highly suggest that you use that. They have it for each level. They have the fluency drills. So here I have for drills for 2 and 3, 4 and 5, and for level 6. I've printed out 7. I just haven't put it into a binder yet. So I highly suggest getting the fluency drills. Also, the next thing we would do is sight words. We review both their reading and their spelling sight words. Let me show you how I do the reading ones first. I only give about 3 to 5 reading sight words at a time. If I give more than that, it just seems to be too overwhelming for my kids. So what I'll do is take the list of cards that they have, show them the word, and if they can say the word, then on the back, I put a check mark in the corner. Once they get 3 check marks, I retire that word and get a new word for them to learn. If they don't know the word, I ask if they would like the clue. And in the corner is a clue for them to tell them what this word is. This one is written out phonetically, R-U-F, for rough. This one, we decided to put a picture of a ruler for the word length. If they need the clue, then they don't get a check mark, but at least they remembered the word. Once we get through their stack, then they go through it several times. I put them in a pile of the ones that they knew, the ones they didn't know. I check the ones they knew, and they go through the stack, and then we put those away for the day. And then the next day we bring them out, and every once in a while, we'll bring out the list of the retired ones that we'll either go through just a section at a time, depends on how much time I have to do that. I like to do that around summer breaks and Christmas breaks especially to make sure that these words have gotten into their long-term memory. And if they don't remember them, I bring them back out again and we do it over again. So that is how we do the reading sight words. Let me show you how we do our spelling sight words. Susan Barton teaches how to do spelling sight words. For a long time, I only did it the way that she said to. And now I do a little bit of a combination of 2 ways. The first part is how Susan taught us. You write the word on a card for your student. In black are the letters that they got correct. In red is the first letter that they missed when they were writing the word, when you gave them the test beforehand. They can miss more than one letter, but you only put the first letter that they missed in red. Then, when my daughter was getting diagnosed for dyslexia last year, the dyslexia specialist who tested her gave me a sheet of paper from the Dyslexia Training Institute on how to get the kids to spell sight words. So I'm going to show you what this paper says right now. You put dots under each letter of each word. And then the child takes whichever is their writing hand, whether it be the right or left, take the hand they write with and use their pointer finger and touch the dot under each letter. In this case, it would be F-R-O-N-T, front. And then you do it again. And then they take the back of a pencil or a pen and lightly over the top write need to write it and say it out loud at the same time. The more senses that they use, the better it will be for them. So they write over the top twice, and then they take their two fingers again from the hand that they write with, and on the table or work surface, they write F-R-O-N-T, front, and then they do it again. And then, depending again whether you're right or left-handed, if you're right-handed, you put out your right arm, and you're going to go up your right arm, F-R-O-N-T, front. Or left-handed, F-R-O-N-T, front. You do that 2 times, and then you write it on a piece of paper. And that is how they study their spelling sight words. And then the next time we go through them, I'll just ask him, how do you spell front? And if he spells it right the first time, they don't have to go through all of that. And when they spell it right 3 times, then we will, again, do the same thing, retire it and get a new one. So that is how I do the sight words. The next thing that we do is flashcards. Again, on the tutor website from Barton Reading and Spelling, you get the passcode, you get your fluency drills, and there's also flashcards you can print out for each level. They have their flashcards in color, but I only have a black and white printer, so I just printed them out on black and white. But I used blue paper because blue is good for dyslexic children, so the words don't move on them. I've also heard that yellow is a good paper too, but I think blue's better. Anyway, Susan suggests blue, so I use blue. So here's the book 3s. So I'll go through a few rules every day. It doesn't always have to be the book they're in, too. It could be some of the previous books that they did, so that I can make sure that they really got these in their head, that they've really stuck with them. These rules have been so helpful. You see how they have, like, this is the floss rule, and then on the back they have what it is. These have been really helpful for my kids to remember the rules, especially when you get to a book that has a lot of rules, like book 4 and book 6. Those are very helpful. So I highly suggest taking the time to print those out and use those as well. Next, I wanted to share with you what you do with all of those, the packet you get of pages in the Barton Reading and Spelling curriculum. There's the yellow pages, which are your tutoring pages to learn from, and then the blue student pages. What I do with them is I paper hole punch all of them, and I stick them in a binder. Binders are wonderful. They really help keep me organized. So I put them in a binder. Now I've heard of some parents who use these page protectors to put the worksheets in. That way they don't have to paper hole punch everything. Plus they let their student write on top of the page protector, and then they just wipe off all the answers and then use it again for the next student. What I do instead is I copy all of the pages off for each one of my students. It might seem like a lot of time, but it's really not to me, and I like the fact that I can copy them off and have a hard copy so that I can go back and see how they did and see if we need to go over that lesson again. So you can choose whichever way works for you. So that's what I do with all those student pages. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about the tiles. You get so many tiles from Barton Reading and Spelling. It's one of the beautiful things about the system. Now, level 1's tiles only go with level 1, but level 2's tiles you carry through level 3 and level 4, and each new book that gets new tiles, you carry all those tiles into the next level, and you just keep using them. So by the time you get to level 7, as my oldest is about to step into, you're using a lot of tiles. So what do you do with all those tiles? What I used to do is use these little drawers to stick in my first child, my second child, my third child, all the tiles that they were using. But these things would get pretty full, And when I go to lay them all out, it was getting to be a lot. And it took a lot of time to prepare all those tiles. So I wised up, and I ended up putting magnets on the back of the tiles. And then I got a cookie sheet, and I put them on a cookie sheet. So now, when my students need to do their reading lesson, I just bring out all the cookie sheets and set them up like this. So when my oldest is going through all the tiles she needs to use, this is what she does. And then my middle two children are only using these tiles. And then my youngest is only using these tiles. And we still have some room here to work with our tiles and spell the things that need to be spelled. Just like that. And then putting them away is really simple as well. You just stack them on top of each other and put them where they go. It's so much better than the hassle that I was doing before. So this is a nice, inexpensive way to go, just to get some magnets and cookie sheets. They also have, from Barton Reading, they have a case that you can put all the tiles in. I think it folds up and put it away. You can use that as well. So I hope that I have given you some ideas for your teaching moments, and thank you for watching.